This is Volunteering in the Valley back on the air, and we've got a little bit different program today. I just want to ask you one quick question. What did you have for lunch? I know what I had for lunch, but what if you didn't have lunch? What if there wasn't a lunch available? Or what if you were not able to prepare a meal for yourself because of aging issues or a disability? Well, we're going to talk a little bit about some of the alternatives for that nice, balanced, hot lunch that we all wish we had every day. Our guests today come from the Senior Center at Macon. We have their director, Christina Veers. We have a volunteer, Colleen Teetsort, and another volunteer who delivers meals, who is Ed Leon. We're going to talk a little bit about today how they volunteer, why they think it's important, and why you need to be involved in these programs so that nobody in our community who wants that hot, balanced meal has to go without. Right now, there are some areas in our county that aren't served, that could be served if we had more folks like Leon who volunteered to drive meals. So let's start out by talking to Christina. You tell us a little bit about the program. I know you serve meals at the site, and then you also deliver Meals on Wheels.
We do, Jean. We deliver about 85 to 90 meals a day. We have 3 different routes. We have a town route, a housing route, and a beer route. And then we also have congregate meals inside of the facility itself. We have a diabetic menu and we have a regular menu, and we serve lunch from 11 to 12:30. We are currently looking for volunteers to be sitting at the desk to help in the kitchen and to also deliver meals. We always have people that they might not be able to deliver that day. They might have a doctor's appointment or they're sick and they just can't come in. And so we're always looking for volunteers that would be available to help us. We do have some communities, as you were talking about, Jean, Ethel, La Plata, Atlanta, that we currently do not deliver to. If you're somebody that's going to be in town, you're going to be running into Macon for something, and it wouldn't take any time at all to swing by and pick up a couple of meals for somebody that might be needing them, and they at least get one hot meal a day, and that would help out. If anybody would be willing to do that. And you don't have to do it every day. You can just do it, you know, once a week. Whenever you come into town, give me a holler and let me know. And we would be willing to help you out with that.
Okay. So, Colleen, I know you've been a volunteer with the senior meal program for a long time. Tell us something about your experience with the program and why, even though you've been around for a while and it's not as easy as it used to be to do it, why it's important for you to continue.
We have been, my husband and I both have been volunteering at the center for 23 years. It is something that we really enjoy. We moved to Macon about that time, and 4 months later we started delivering meals. And at that time we had the town route and we're driving 16 miles a day. And sometimes we would do this 2 and 3, maybe even 4 times a week. But it was a fun thing for us because we got to see people. We knew that we were helping to give them at least one good balanced meal, and maybe having contact with them and would be the only person that they would see that whole day. And we have come into some situations that we called ambulances, and that was not a fun thing to do, but we were glad that we were there to help them in their time of need. And it's just been a gratifying thing to know that we are helping to keep people in their home and not go to the nursing homes. And that's something that is uppermost in my mind at this present time because I'm getting close to that situation.
We never know when we might find ourselves there. Colleen, I really want to thank you and your husband for all the effort that you've made, and I hope you're able to continue doing it for a long time.
Well, I really enjoy it, and I wanted to, something else I wanted to bring up was that we need the support of the community real
Yes.
bad. And not just in Macon, but the surrounding communities.
Right.
And when we have fundraisers, we really need them to support this, because our meals are not paid for by the government as a lot of people think. And I think that is something that is a misconception in our community, and it needs, people need to know this.
I think that's good information to have, because I really wasn't aware that those meals were no longer subsidized by the federal government either.
Well, she can explain a little bit more. I'll let you go ahead, but
Okay. We do get a third of our funding comes from AAA in Kirksville, the Division on Aging. A third of our funding comes from fundraisers, and then a third of our funding also comes from the donations from the community. So a third coming from the government, that is a little bit of a help, but it's by no means enough to keep our center going. So that's why we really rely on our donations and then our fundraisers.
It doesn't buy a lot of meat and potatoes.
It doesn't. It doesn't. So.
I think we need to explain what donation means. We cannot ask a certain price for our meals. It's always a donation. And that, you know, that makes a difference, and people need to understand this too. It's a hard thing to understand all of this whenever you're not associated with the program.
Yeah, I've been in there, and I understand, you know, and I've had some fine meals in there too. So keep in mind that this is not your TV dinner.
No.
No, it's not your TV dinner. And we do have a suggested $4 contribution, as Colleen was saying, but we can't stand over and refuse somebody a meal if they come in and they can't pay.
Right.
But I do like to tell people that that's what keeps our program afloat, is the donations for the meals.
And right now we have what we think is a tremendous cook. She is really doing a fabulous job for us.
She
Yes,
does
sure
a very
is.
good job, yes.
Ed, tell us a little bit about your experiences
Well,
delivering
my
meals.
experience is, well, you know, like it says, we enjoy it. We do it twice a week. We do it on Mondays and Fridays, and we do it takes about an hour to do it. And we and the wife, we really enjoy a lot of it, because we've got to meet a lot of friends. And you know, there's a certain couple that I feed the squirrels on Mondays and Fridays, because you know they can't get out and do it. See,
Right.
so I go and feed the little squirrels, and they enjoy that.
And you become a vital part
Yes, I am.
of these households, of these individuals' lives, because you're a link that they don't have otherwise
Right.
with the community, with a healthy meal, and just with a friendly face and a smile, somebody that they can count on to be there those days.
Yeah.
So you see, they're volunteering 2 days a week. So maybe you only have one day. Maybe you could do an hour on Tuesday. Maybe you're coming in from somewhere like Callio for something every Wednesday morning. Give Christina a call and say, Christina, is there somebody at Callio that wants a meal that I could deliver on my way back on Wednesday when I finish with my every week chore in Macon? It doesn't have to be a commitment where you are 5 hours a day, 5 days a week out there driving around with meals. It can fit your schedule, it can fit your physical abilities, it can fit your lifestyle. And in the meantime, you can fit somebody else's life with better nutrition and a friendly face. And I know you have some other interesting activities planned. My mouth is watering already.
Yes, we do, Jean. We have a hog roast coming up. We do have somebody that has donated a hog for us, and then we have somebody that has donated the butchering of the hog, and that is going to be on August 20th, and we're going to have a pulled pork sandwich, hash brown casserole, coleslaw, a dessert, and drink, and that's for $7. And for those that are under 10, it's going to be $4. And then we're also going to have a silent auction with some things also. And then I also wanted to mention the fact that we do rent out our dining room at the senior center. It's a $100 donation price, and then a $100 deposit. You get your deposit back as long as the center is left in the same position that it was when you got it. And that is also one of our money raisers that we use for the center.
I think you had some other things happening too, like you were talking about a craft show earlier.
Yes, we have a craft show coming up on September 10th. It's $15 per table for each vendor, and I am looking for vendors for that. It's going to be an all-day event on the 10th. And then I also wanted to mention some activities that we do at the center. We have exercise on Monday and Wednesday with Virgil Harris. That starts at 10 o'clock, and then we'd love for you to stay for lunch at 11. We have a bingo every Thursday, and then we play cards on Wednesday and Thursdays, pinochle and pitch. And then on Tuesdays and Fridays, they play pool.
That sounds great to me. And we want the community to understand that while there is a nominal contribution for the meal, the exercise class, the cards, none of those things have a charge for the participants connected with them. So you've got to have some funds out there to keep those things going, because the meal is wonderful, it nourishes the body. But the card games and the exercise and the other activities also help the body, but they help your heart and soul as well.
Right.
And a lot of seniors need the nutrition, but they also need that human contact.
Yes, yes.
Is there anything any of you would like to add before we kind of wind this down and talk about some other things happening in the community?
I don't
No,
know of
I know.
anything else.
Okay.
Just give me a call up at the center. Our phone number is 385-6411, and I will get you hooked up volunteering and doing something around our center. Thank you.
You can spare an hour a week. I'll bet you can't show me a schedule that you can't spare an hour a week out of. So give it some thought. Even just some little extra chores around, helping clean up, helping prep food. There's always things that can be done. You don't have to get out and get in your car and drive to participate as a volunteer at the senior center. And if you volunteer somewhere else already, just come to the senior center to enjoy a meal and the fellowship. And speaking of enjoying a meal, have you ever wondered where your next meal was coming from? Do you know what it is not to know if you can put food on your table for your family? The next event we're going to be featuring will be featuring the food drive that the Long Branch area chapter does every year at this time for the emergency food pantry. Linda Truitt and her husband manage that pantry. It's available on an as-need basis up to 4 times a year. September is a particularly difficult month for the food pantry. So we're going to be bringing you more about this food drive next time, but begin thinking about that now so that while you're in the grocery store, if you see a terrific bargain on something that you're thinking, hey, this would be a great food pantry item, buy one extra, put it aside, and when we get our collection boxes going out in the community, watch for that box and drop your donations in. Because it isn't just young folks, it isn't just older folks. It seems to be that they have folks coming in from every age, every generation, every situation. Some are homeless, some are trying to stay in their homes. Keep that in mind and think about this. This is what Long Branch area chapter has chosen to do to commemorate 9/11 each year. We don't have some sort of a ceremony or a memorial service. We want to do something that contributes to the life of the community. Thinking about those who lost their lives is important, but thinking about those who are still with us that may have needs to be met is even more important. So this is a joint venture with CVTV and Long Branch area chapter, and we want to thank all of you for taking part in our little program. And if you can volunteer, let us know, let Christina know, give me a call. I'll be happy to hook you up with something that feels right for you. Thank you, and in the meantime, happy volunteering.